Hey, this is Sayre, and you're tuning into the Marketing for Artists podcast. This podcast focuses on helping artists, graphic designers, photographers, fashion designers, craftsmen, and other creators elevate their art, their craft, and their brand. In this marketing podcast, we'll explore your tools for success, such as branding, marketing strategy, social media management, traditional and print marketing, measuring and analytics, content creation, SEO, website design, and so much more. So stay tuned for the next episode of Marketing for Artists. Hey guys, thank you for tuning into the first episode of Marketing for Artists. This first episode is going to be a short one, as I just want to give you a quick introduction as to who I am, a little history about my business, how I got here, and what my goals are for this podcast. So, before I begin diving into all the exciting information about me, I do want to give a quick word to the first episode sponsor, SDS Modeling Company. SDS Modeling Company is a West Virginia modeling agency that is dedicated to helping both businesses and models find professional modeling opportunities. So if you're a fashion designer or a hairdresser, maybe you're a photographer looking for a model for your next gig, you can reach out to SDS Modeling Company. And you can find them at sdsmodelingco.com. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, I'll link to the show notes below. In YouTube, I'll link to the description below. Very quickly, I do want to mention that SDS Modeling Company came out with their first publication. It features West Virginia models and West Virginia places. It's being dubbed as a celebration of West Virginia models and human beauty. It's a very beautiful publication, very well put together, and it explores a range of experiences and emotions. I do want to take a quick second to read the message from the editor on the inside. This publication will feature passionate Appalachian models and a series of works that will show an array of styles, experiences, and aspirations. I hope you take their experiences, stories, and images as a positive representation of the culture, strength, and beauty that surrounds West Virginia. SDS wants to break the borders of the negative stereotypes and tropes of the greater Appalachia. This state has a proud history of immigration, diversity, arts, cultures, and the great outdoors. I hope we can artistically evoke the emotions and experiences of these West Virginia models. Everyone involved in this project has dedicated their time and work in portraying West Virginia and its people beautifully. I want the viewers of this publication to experience appreciation for art, modeling, and human beauty. So that's the message on the inside, a brief message about what this publication is about. If you want to check this out, I'll supply a link below. A portion of every sale will go to support the featured models in the publication. So thank you for taking a quick second to learn about SDS Modeling Company. And now we're going to take a quick second to learn a little bit about me. So as mentioned in the intro, my name is Chris. I own and manage Sayre Design Studio, which is a local marketing agency here in West Virginia. And for those of you in the United States who aren't very good with your geography, it is not Western Virginia. West Virginia is its own state. Those of you listening for West Virginia are going to understand what I'm saying. It's a very, very big deal when you tell people I'm from West Virginia and they think Virginia. So I'm just making that very clear. So my entire life, I've always considered myself a creative. For as long as I could remember, I've been drawing, painting, or doing some form of craft or art. I went to Capitol High School, which was a magnet school for the arts. There I studied a couple of different disciplines. I took your basic art class that you're required to take in high school. But I also took some podcasting classes, some video editing classes, and I did some things for the local public broadcasting. When I was in high school, I knew that I was going to go to college and get a degree and run a business of some sort. So shortly after I got my high school diploma, I did just that. I applied and went to the local university and started in business. That's what I started off in. And then I flunked out very quickly. I wasn't a great student. I didn't apply myself well. And to be frank, I didn't like any of the business classes. I didn't get along with any of the professors. But honestly, looking back, that's probably more my fault than theirs. However, my final semester of flunking out, I met my soon-to-be wife, Jennifer, who motivated me to get my act together, get back into school, and really dedicate myself to something I enjoyed. So when I went back to college the second time, I focused in art. I studied just about every discipline that you can imagine, from traditional printmaking and ceramics to painting to graphic design and photography. So I got my degree in art and design. Very quickly after college, I landed a graphic design job with a local company where I handled all of their creative, from publications and websites and flyers to branding. So I loved it. I love everything about graphic design. However, I felt it wasn't enough. It didn't fuel all of my creative desires. So I started a company called Sayre Design Studio. It started off as a very simple graphic design firm where I created simple graphic design projects for local businesses and community events and churches and family members and all of those things. As with the first graphic design job, it still felt like I could do more with it, but I wasn't entirely sure. And so my business slowly started migrating towards marketing and advertising world, which is funny that now I'm running a business and doing marketing and advertising, but I flunked out of the business college courses. Seems a little bit crazy. So after working the graphic design job for some time, I landed a marketing position where I managed the marketing for a local Fortune 500 company. I was over 8 regional locations. I did just about everything you can imagine, from Facebook ad campaigns to video to full marketing campaigns, including flyers and brochures and branding, and I helped them launch 2 new divisions in their business. I loved it, and I love marketing. I learned and gained so much valuable information from working with Fortune 500 company, but I wasn't fully content still. And that's when I realized that I could take my newfound love for marketing, take my skill sets that I've perfected with graphic design and photography, and apply them to help artists and creatives like me. So that's where my business is today. It's focusing on helping, artists and creators and craftsmen really grow their craft, their art, and their brand. And really, a craftsman could be anyone from someone who creates furniture to craft beer and wine. So with my new business plan, I wanted to create a podcast that could go along with my social media content and all of my marketing efforts to help really reach artists and creators. So here we are today. That's a quick version of how we got to the Marketing for Artists podcast. I'm taking years of experience in marketing and advertising and working with several Fortune 500 companies and applying them at the local level to help artists and creators. So I really want to end this podcast with a simple question. What kind of content do you want to hear? What excites you? What do you feel will help you? Do you feel it's branding information? Do you feel it's social media marketing information? Do you feel it's content? Is it time management? Is it business development? Is it sales? What kind of content will help you grow as a business, as an artist, as a creator? You can answer that question by going to sayredesignstudio.com/podcast. I'll link to it below. There you'll be able to go online, you'll find information about the podcast, you'll find all of the episodes, and you'll also find a form that will be up temporarily that you can share information and submit some ideas for this podcast on what you would like to hear. And don't just limit it to ideas about marketing, but also maybe who do you want us to feature on the podcast? Is there a successful artist or photographer or marketer that you would like for us to feature on the podcast? If so, just leave that information on the form. So that's it for the first episode. Told you it was going to be a short one. I didn't want to bore you with all the information about me, but I did need to give you a quick intro. Hey listeners, thank you for tuning into the Marketing for Artists podcast. If you'd like to support us, feel free to check us out at our Patreon page. You can find us by searching Marketing for Artists or Sayre Design Studio, or simply check the description below and we'll link you directly to it. There will be various options like all other Patreon accounts where you can help support the podcast, ranging from a small donation to full-on support. Our highest package right now allows you to donate monthly and then get a free consult, a free marketing consult from me. So take advantage of it while that opportunity is still up. Also, if you'd like to sponsor an episode, get a shout out, have us talk about your brand or your art or your craft, you can also find information about how to do that on SayreDesignStudio.com/podcast. Thank you guys, and stay tuned for the next episode, Why Branding Matters for Artists.